Today I'm talking about The Fifth Elephant, book 24 in Terry Pratchett's Discworld, and again, back in the Discworld. Another fantastic, brilliant read. We're back with Commander Vimes, who's, began as a night watchman in a rundown old facility that, just kicking along in life, and now he's basically the ambassador of Ankh-Morpork. The Low King under the mountains been having an election or coronation for the dwarfs, which they do have an election. Is a bit odd. So, and there's a bit of tension because there's the old school dwarfs that have never been above ground and don't like strange ways, and then there's the new or more modern dwarfs who still are old and a little bit backwards in thinking, but a lot more open to progress. And a lot of these dwarfs have actually sprung from Ankh-Morpork, which is one of the largest dwarf populations in the Discworld, which kind of surprised a little everyone. So Commander Vimes he's on his way up there to Uberwald to see the coronation, which he's not at all pleased about. But it's a chance for Lady Sybil, his beautiful wife, to get to enjoy the prestige her Duke husband has. So it's a nice little thing for the Lady Sybil. They're taking detritus, the troll, into a dwarf mine, which, if you know their history, that's just a little bit crazy. Cheery Little Bottom, who's a dwarf female. Now that causes a little bit of tension and a little bit of friction, but Cheery's up to the task. And Sergeant Angwer's supposed to join them as well as another Uberworldian, and but her little subplot gets a little bit carried away. And they've also got a member of Lord Veterinary's sent with him, who's also an assassin. So just a little bit of tension, a little bit going on. Brilliantly funny book. And the funny thing about this book, it's all about speciesism and accepting yourself and who you are and stuff. And it's like focuses on a lot of things. The real issues now is racism and equal rights and gender issues, but he does it in this quirky, weird, funny way with all these mythological sapient beings that you just, I don't know, you just get this feeling like, did he know what he was doing and how relevant it would be 10 years later, like these equality, and it would have been gender equality, particularly racism, particularly back then, but it's still these fights that are going on, and he addresses them without being preachy because he's done it with these mythical creatures like werewolves, vampires, dwarfs, and so it's a little bit different, and the dwarfs in the Discworld are just dwarfs. Cheery is a massive exception because she's openly declared herself as female, as a woman dwarf, and dwarfs are just dwarfs until they get married, basically, and that's the attitude. And so there's all that going. Again, the typical Terry Pratchett quirky jokes, and so with Sam out of Ankh-Morpork, what are we going to do? Who's in charge? Of course, it's going to be Captain Carrot. So Carrot's in charge. The trouble is, Angwer has disappeared. If you don't know, it means you haven't been reading. So you should be reading the books. Angwer's a werewolf, and a wolf's come all the way into Ankh-Morpork to tell her family's causing a bit of trouble, and that's where the storyline plots. There's stuff going on up in Uberworld. There's dwarfs aren't happy with the king. There's outside forces like werewolves and vampires trying to just spark a little bit of fire, bit of friction, in this uneasy truce that the three dominant species in this particular part of Uberworld have faced. And so Angwer gets a visit from an old wolf companion of hers, and wolves and werewolves don't get along, so that's another key thing. But he came into the city to find her, so she's run off. So Carrot's run off after her, So then who's going to be in charge of Ankh-Morpork? And none other than Sergeant Colon. And oh my god, the funny play on that, is brilliant. He gets this like cabin fever authoritarianism that, he cannot handle the power. Nobby Knobs in his ear, just causing havoc. Um, the sugar cubes. Wait till you get to the sugar cubes. That's all I'm gonna say. No spoilers. Wait till you get to the sugar cubes. Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. And then of course Vines has gone up there, and you know, he's one of those great people that doesn't look for trouble. Trouble finds him. And there's some goings on. There's the great scone of the dwarfs, um, which is like their holy relic. The dwarfs don't have religion, but their whole dwarfism is almost a religion unto itself. So someone's stole the replica out of Ankh-Morpork. This is all going off as Vimes is heading off. So there's tension. There's Terry Pratchett books, Discworld books are mysteries in this quirky, weird, and wonderful world. And the mysteries are always good mysteries. If you packaged them up and sold them as just mystery novels, they actually stand with some of the great mystery writers. They are really good mysteries, but they've done it in this quirky, humorous, wonderful world of fantasy creatures. So they don't really get looked upon as that, but that's what they are. And this one is definitely one of the best. Watching Vimes go up there, we've got raging werewolves, we've got vampires, and we've got dwarves, and tension galore. I won't give too much away because I don't like spoilers, but again, a fantastic book. The Fifth Elephant, and why it's called The Fifth Elephant, if you don't know, the Discworld rotates on the back of 4 elephants that stand upon the shell of a giant turtle swimming through space. And yeah, so this is the 5th elephant which they believe, I think it was got obscured and crashed down on top of the disc, creating the mountains, the oceans, and that. So yeah, fantastic read. The Fifth Elephant, brilliant, brilliant Terry Pratchett book. Happy reading, and follow for more.